Hey y'all, it's Crystal. Thanks so much for stopping in today. Just gonna do a little tag today at the high five tag, and this was created by Gareth over at Book Songs and Other Magic, who kindly tagged me, and he was celebrating a milestone with his subscribers and made this little tag to celebrate. So there's 5 questions with 5 answers each, and yeah, it sounds like a fun one. So Gareth is someone I really enjoy his videos. I'm just so glad that we have connected here on YouTube, and yeah, he's a good person, really great channel. Of course, I'll link below. Go check him out if you're not already watching. Okay, so number 1 is to give a high five to 5 books that you want to rave about. So I've picked 5. The first of which, though, is a book I haven't read yet, but is like high on my priority for 2023. And that's Clive Barker's Cold Hard Canyon. She's chunky, but I am ready to dive into it. And so basically, I'll read the back really quickly about why I want to read it. Film's most popular action hero needs a place to heal after surgery that has gone terribly wrong. His fiercely loyal agent finds him such a place in luxurious, forgotten mansion high in the Hollywood Hills. But the original owner of the mansion was a beautiful woman devoted to pleasure at any cost, and the terrible legacy of her deed has not yet died. There are ghosts and monsters haunting Cold Heart Canyon, where nothing is forbidden. Sounds amazing. I've heard great things. That was kind of wild. I got this cool cover. I'm excited to get to this one soon-ish. Okay, the rest are books I have read, and so I recommend them, and they're ones I really enjoy in some way or other. So this one is The Invention of Hugo Cabret by Brian Selznick. And this is a lovely story. It takes place in like a train depot, but it's also a lovely book itself. The cover art is gorgeous, of course. Got this just amazing illustrations that go throughout the entire story. Get a good shot here. It's just lovely. And then the text every so often, even just like the black border around each page, I think is lovely. I mean, just look at these drawings. It's a gorgeous book to have on your shelf. It's full of whimsy, and the characters are wonderful. The story's great. You know, it's about a little orphan boy, and he kind of is in charge of the clock in the train depot. And of course, the story goes from there. It's a wonderful book, and just a beautiful, beautiful book in itself. It's just gorgeous. I mean, let's do one more. Look at that. Yeah, so shout out to that one. And because I'll basically never stop shouting about Betty by Tiffany McDaniel, let's talk about it again because it's so good and you really need to read it. This is a sort of generational kind of family story, coming of age feels from the perspective of Betty, who we meet. I think she's around 8 years old when we first meet her, and then we travel through time with her as she gets to 18. This start in the 1960s, 1954. So mid 50s, and it goes up to I think the 80s or so. So Betty is she's the youngest daughter of a family of, let's see, there's mother and father, and then there's 2, 2, 3. Was there like 6, 7 kids? And they were in the sort of Appalachian area of Ohio, dirt poor, really struggled, and also family secrets really permeate this story, and really destroy a lot of this family. They go through so much stuff in here. I always say prepare yourself to read this. It is a very emotional story, but it is well worth the time, well worth your, devoting time to this. It's not crazy. Look, I mean, I really want to reread it. But it's beautifully written. Tiffany McDaniel just has a way with words, and it's just a gorgeous story that really packs an emotional punch. Have your tissues ready when you read this one. All right, and because I love it, the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin, really the entire trilogy, right? But I love this book. I love this whole series. And sometimes, the books are hyped, and you're like, is it worth it? You know, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. This is very much worth it. This entire series is very complex. The characters are complex. The setting is complex. The world that Jemisin has invented here for us is complex. It's very dark at times, but at the soul, you know, really at the heart of it is a mother trying to find her child, and what you know, what she'll do to get there. And we go on a journey. And it's wonderful. Sometimes things are worth the hype, right? Okay, and lastly, certainly not least, Paperbacks from Hell by Grady Hendrix. Yeah, you've heard of it. You have, but have you actually flipped through it? Have you taken the time to really peruse? Because it's definitely worth the time, especially if you are at all interested in vintage horror from, you know, the 70s and 80s. And talks about all these just crazy old paperbacks that really were just everywhere in those days. It goes through, you know, really just wonderfully. It's really wonderfully illustrated. You know, got all the photos, color photos that are really gorgeous, documenting all the cool covers, and then it, you know, sort of talks a little bit about the books as it goes. And yeah, it's great. It's a great resource if you're into, you know, reading more of these books, and some, because, you know, it's a good way to figure out what all's out there, because some of these are kind of, you know, lost to time, you know, a little bit. So it's a good resource in that way, and it's also just really fun to just kind of flip through every now and then. It's just a fun book. I mean, you can't really go wrong, you know. So these are 5 books that I will shout out. I really enjoyed, and one I'm really looking forward to. Okay, let's move on. Number 2 is to give a high five to 5 authors that you love. So these are 5 authors I really love, and they're, yeah, which, Haley Piper. I love Haley Piper. I have all of her books. I read all but her newest release. I just hadn't got to yet. This is just her short story collection, Unfortunate Elements of My Anatomy, which is fantastic. All the stories in here are great. So yeah, Haley Piper, I just love what she's doing with horror, and I can't wait. I can't wait for more. I want more. Chuck Palahnik is an author I've been reading since I was in my early 20s, and he's just someone I always buy. I'll always buy the newest book. I might not read it right away, but I'm going to buy it. I pulled out Rant for the example here, which is a really crazy story. Sort of play with time, and there was like groups of people that dress up and like to go to like car crash parties. It's weird. We're following a guy named Rant Casey, and it's just crazy. I don't know. He's crazy, but Palahnik never. He's just, like I say, he's just someone I'll always buy his books, and his work has meant a lot to me, you know, at different points in my life. So, of course, Octavia Butler, whom I love so much. I love everything that I've read by her so far, and I don't have much left. You know, because you know, we only have just a select body of work from her, right? But this is Kindred, of course, one of my favorite books of all time. It's so good. Another kind of time travel type of story. But I love Butler. Just to me, I love her ideas. You know, I love to know like what is going on in this story that she's given us, because I know it's going to be something unique and different, challenging, and I'm ready for it. So next year I'm gonna dig into more Octavia Butler also, as I'm slowly making my way through her work. Of course, Neil Gaiman. I really enjoy Neil Gaiman, and I just, you know, a lot of his stories have so much whimsy. They can be really dark. They have really awesome characters. I love the way he writes. I love his writing style. This is a copy of Neverwhere that I actually picked up somewhere recently. That I just kind of splurged on a signed copy, and I do love Neverwhere, but I kind of picked up this illustrated version, illustrated by Chris Riddle. Yeah, but yeah, Neil Gaiman, I like him a lot. And finally, a Margaret Atwood. I enjoy Margaret Atwood that I've read, but I have so much more to read by her. Excuse me. So I have so many of her books on my shelf that I need to get through. But she's someone that I love to see. I love to know what are her ideas in a story. What is she going to give to us this time? It is usually, again, pretty unique and can be challenging also. And so yeah, this one's Hag Seed, which is one I have not read yet. But I just, yeah, she's a fave. I like her. All right, let's get going. Number 3 is to give a high five to 5 songs that you love. This one was hard because I like a lot of songs. But Gareth at Book Songs and Other Measure is a singer, musician, has a band, so music is of course very important to him. So I understand the adding this question about songs. So here's 5 that I came up with. So Ween is a favorite band of mine. I've been listening to them again since I was in high school. But the Golden Eel to me is like Tippity Tops is my favorite Ween song. I can't tell you why, but I love Ween because they're strange a lot of times. Sometimes they're really kind of funny. Excuse me. And I don't know. I just love them. Okay. Ween, the Golden Eel. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do is I'll link these songs below too, so you can go check them out if you're interested. Okay, number 2 is Tori Amos. I mean, Tori Amos has made a lot in my life. Again, would I have made it out of my teen years without her? I'm not really sure. I went with a classic here for Tori Amos. Crucify is still a wonderful song. It's still a gorgeous song, and I love Tori. I love Tori. Okay, the next one is Amanda Palmer's, and I chose Judy Blume. What I love about this song is it is a love letter to Judy Blume and a love letter to escaping into books when you're kind of that preteen sort of age and you're starting to kind of figure things out for yourself and things like that. And this song is such a delight, and it really kind of makes me cry sometimes. It's just wonderful, and especially if you are a Judy Blume fan, it is a must listen. Another singer that has meant a lot to me in my life is Elliott Smith. May he rest in peace. He died by suicide in 2003, I think it was. Left us so many wonderful songs, though. Still so sad that we don't get new ones, but we have so many to listen to. And so many I could have picked ones that I love, but I went with A Fond Farewell, and it is on his sort of last album that it did come out posthumously, but it was almost finished, I think, by the time of his death, so his family went ahead and released it. And A Fond Farewell, yeah, it is kind of a nice farewell to a friend. So that's from his album Basement on a Hill. From a Basement on a Hill, yeah. And because I am me, and I gotta include a little K-pop, right? I've been listening to K-pop for years, and it makes me happy. And so I went out a BTS song. Now I thought about, should I recommend the song that I think is like the best BT song, like the peak, like this is the BTS song you need to listen to, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, by the way. Or should I list my favorite? So I'm gonna do my favorite. This one makes me happy. It's just a delightful song. I love it so much, and that's Dimple, and that's from the Love Yourself, her album from 2017, I think that one was. It makes me happy. So I love Dimple. Okay, so that's that one. Number 5, give a high five to 5 magical moments in your life. Moments that were unexpected, surprising, memorable, life-affirming, defining, or unforgettable in some way. So number 1, maybe cliche, but the day my son was born, of course, was pretty special and definitely life-changing. He Yeah, he changed everything, right? So and he changed me. I am a much different person than I was before he came along. So, and I'm better for it too, right? This is not a negative in any way. Yeah, yeah, it's all good. I would also like to another special moment in my life is the time I decided I needed a change in my life, and so I left the comfort of North Carolina and my family, and I went to Alaska to work for the summer. This was the summer of 2001. Was it 2001? And I worked up there this summer, and it was another pivotal moment of my life where things changed for me. The person that I wanted to be changed. I met my future husband there. I met so many wonderful people that I'm still friends with now, and of course it's just Alaska, so it's beautiful, and yeah, it was a life-changing event for sure. Number 3, I'd say memorable, life-affirming, defining, unforgettable. My husband and I, something that really is unforgettable for me is one summer we took a really big road trip across the country, across the U.S., and we were in Arizona at the time, so we started in Arizona, and we went right across the East Coast, up to even into bits of Canada, and down and down and down and down back to Arizona, and we camped a lot along the way, went to a lot of national parks and national, monuments and all kinds of stuff. And it was definitely unforgettable. It was the trip of a lifetime. I'm so glad that we did that at that time. That was probably the summer. It was like 2005-ish maybe. It was the best. Yeah, it was just a great few months for sure. Okay, number 4. I didn't think this out. I do apologize. So next I'll probably say my time in college. It was finding out, figuring out who you are, and connecting with all kinds of different people. And I was a fine art major, so I was just in this creative zone, most days, and it was good. It was a good time. And again, I met people there that just at the time really opened my eyes, and I could see things a bit differently. When you grow up in a really small town, you kind of don't know what's going on all the time. So yeah. So let's go with that. Okay, and number 5, I'm gonna go. I guess a lot of traveling has meant a lot to me in my life. But when I was in college, I took a sort of summer abroad kind of class that with one of the art history professors, and we went to Israel, Jordan, Egypt, and Greece at the time. We spent 3 weeks over there. It was so amazing. It was so amazing. Well, one of the things that still blows my mind when I think about it is when you go to in Israel, there is a Holocaust museum, and there is a children's memorial there that is so overwhelmingly emotional, and it is definitely unforgettable. Like this was over 25 years ago, and I still remember seeing this beautiful memorial. It's a candle that's reflected 1 million times and you're just surrounded by these flames, and because 1 million children, were murdered during the Holocaust, and it is so overwhelmingly emotional, and it is absolutely unforgettable. So that's definitely something that is just, always on my brain. So I think that's 5. So let's, the 5th question is to give a high 5 to 5 other booktubers. Yay! And then tag them. So I'll mention these 5 and tag if you want to. I know sometimes it's, you don't have time for tags or whatever. So if you feel like it, go ahead. But these are 5 booktubers that I really enjoy their videos, and I enjoy their personalities and their characters and everything. So these are 5 booktubers you should check out if you're not already checking them out. So one is M's Book Nook. Oh, Em is so sweet. She's just so lovely. I love her calming voice. I love her whole aesthetic and her vibe. She's so cool. So check her out. Also Tangible Reads. She's got a great channel, and I always love watching her. She travels a bit, so she'll take you with you when she travels and stuff. It's always really fun. David's Book Reviews. Oh, he's such a great guy. Just awesome reviews and all kinds of fun stuff, and always shouting out people. Good stuff. Also Andrew from It Came From the Page. I love his channel. I'd love to hear him talk about books and movies. He's very knowledgeable about especially kind of old school horror and things like that. He's such fun to watch, and he has amazing cats. And of course, my pal Kelly. Kelly Hooked on Books. Yeah, I love Kelly. and I love her channel, and I love her honesty in her reviews. She's great. So yeah, Kelly Hooked on Books. Okay, that's it. So Gary, thanks again for tagging me. I appreciate it. I hope this was enjoyable. So if you've made it this far, thanks so much for watching. I always appreciate your time. I know your time is valuable. So choosing to spend a little bit of it with me is definitely means a lot. So thanks so much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.